All right, all right. Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I hope you're excited to start this week out. I know I am, and we had a phenomenal week last week. For those of you that were able to join us at the Academy Live, it was an amazing event. We had some world-class speakers. We had Nathan Williams from Pot We had Baron Baptiste from the Baptiste Leadership Institute. We had Forbes Riley from Forbes Riley Media. I mean, we had just a ton of individuals. Even we're able to get Greg Anderson in there from Jadari. But we were really talking a lot about creating authority and creating a personal brand. And it got me thinking this week. I want to start you out. I usually like to, on Mondays, talk to you about ways that we can sort of get our mindset right for the week. And it's really important that you get your mindset right for the week because it really guides everything that you're doing. If you don't have that foundation, then you're going to get pulled in all kinds of different directions. You're going to get pulled in areas that everyone else wants you to go. And at the end of the day, it's all about clarity and focus and direction to get you to accomplish your goals. So just ask yourself this question. What is it you want to accomplish? What is it you're trying to move towards? Make sure that you ground yourself this week and that you are following a path that's going to get you where you want to be. Because the worst thing that could happen is you don't have a plan, you don't have clarity, and you end up somewhere completely different. And then you have all these regrets and thoughts about how you could have, would have, should have done different things. So today, what I want to do, I'm going to go back to a little bit of the foundation. And if you remember, and for those of you that are first time joining us, the prosperity principles are 12 principles that I sort of culminated over a lifetime, but more specifically 25, 30 years of working with some of the greatest thought leaders, experts, and successful people that I know over time, people like Tony Robbins and T. Harv Eker and, different individuals that have shared ideas and thoughts. I put these 12 prosperity principles together, and they're sort of a mantra, they're sort of affirmations, but they can be whatever you want them to be. The key is that they're a foundation for you in your life. And all of these principles are ones that are time-tested, that individuals that have used, you've heard parts of these or variations of these because success leaves clues, and over time, success principles are the same. And so these 12 pillars, I want to kind of walk through with you in order to remind you and to refocus you on what's important in your life and what's important in your week. And if you have these top of mind, what's going to happen is everything you do is going to be structured around the right principles for success. And when I say success, that could mean in your life, it could be your business, your relationships, your communication. It's whatever it is you choose to create in your life. So let me go through these with you just as a reminder and also a way to get you focused for the week. Prosperity principle number 1 is I create my life. I create my life. Jim Rohn said, we all have two choices. We can make a living or we can design a life. What is it that you're doing? Remember that your thoughts are the things that create your life. And when you really accept the principle that I create my life, you're going to do things proactively that'll help you to create that life that you were meant to live, the one that you want to live. Prosperity principle number 2 is I take personal responsibility. Now, this is a tough one for a lot of people. I think on the surface, we all want to take responsibility. But as Tony Robbins says, it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. So what is it that you're doing? There's a big difference between deciding to create your life and taking responsibility for where you are. You can't move forward until you accept the fact that you are where you are because of the decisions that you've made. So make the decision today to be responsible for your actions, to be responsible for the results in your life. Other outside circumstances may push you around and move you and send you through the waves, the ups and downs. But when you take responsibility, there's a sense of empowerment that allows you to stay focused on what it is that's important. Prosperity principle number 3, one of my favorite ones, is I act in spite of my mood. I act in spite of my mood. Bruce Lee said, the successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. So the question is this, because I believe the difference maker between those that are successful and are not successful are the ones that act in spite of their mood. Nobody wants to get up early in the morning. Nobody wants to do that extra rep, that extra set, that extra call, or at the end of a very long day, do what others are not willing to do. But understand, When you do what others are not willing to do, you're going to create the life that other people don't have. So you have to be willing to act in spite of your mood. Prosperity principle number 4 is I surround myself with positive people. Now, I know a lot of people feel like they may not have the environment that they want to have, but this could include podcasts, music, trainings, episodes, things like that. It's so important that you surround yourself with people that are positive and that support your goals and dreams, because most people, especially if you're on social media nowadays, most people, they're not, they're not focused on helping you to go to the next level. And like Les Brown said, other people's opinions don't have to become your reality. And when you surround yourself with the wrong people, your reality is not the one that's most conducive to your success. So find a way this week to add someone to your network that you know is aligned with the way you think, is positive and outgoing. Prosperity principle number 5 is I focus on solutions. I focus on solutions. See, your perception is going to be your reality. And a lot of times we start by trying to solve problems in our life when we really should, as I've said many, many times, I've learned over the years, you need to start from solution. You need to start and focus on solutions that can help you in your life rather than the negative scenarios and circumstances in your life that you're trying to overcome. Because what you focus on grows. And so if you're focused on your problem trying to solve it, it's just as bad as focusing on the problem, because you've got to learn to focus on the next level, the solutions, the life you want to live, not your past, not your present, but your future self, your future life. When you focus on solutions, as Zig Ziglar says, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. But you got to focus on the dream. You got to focus on the positive and the solutions. Prosperity principle number 6, I create an attitude of abundance. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference, Winston Churchill said. So do you want more abundance into your life? Do you feel like you have abundance in your life? Do you feel like there's enough around for you? Because you can't create abundance from a place of scarcity. And if you're looking at the things you don't have in life, it's going to be very difficult for you to create an attitude of abundance because you're coming from a place of scarcity. So be careful what it is you're thinking about and create that attitude of abundance. Prosperity principle number 7. And this one's one that's a little difficult. I choose to be happy. I choose to be happy. Now, this one always kind of threw me off a little bit because I thought, man, if it were that easy, why isn't everybody doing it? Well, I can tell you it's not easy. And I can tell you why it's not easy. It's because generally we define happiness as something that we can have in the future, not something that we already have. And here's the thing. Happiness is not a destination. It's a path. Wayne Dyer said, it's not about finding happiness. Happiness is the way. And so when you become happily and you're happily achieving, happiness is not going to be something you're chasing. Happiness will simply be a choice, plain and simple. Your goal should be less and less about controlling your circumstances and more about just controlling your decisions. And when you decide to be happy, that's when you're going to start to achieve and feel and experience more happiness in your life. Prosperity principle number 8. I always think win-win. I always think win-win. This is going to be more about your paradigms. I've learned that this is more about your perception. It's like Wayne Dyer said, when you change the way you look at things, things you look at change. So you may be faced with a situation in your life right now where you feel it's overwhelming, or you may be faced with a situation where you feel there's no way out or there's no win in the situation. But when you start from abundance, from the fact that there's always a win-win, there's always a solution, and you add belief that you can have both success and happiness, both fulfillment as well as the chase and the path. When you feel like you can have win-win and you believe in that, you're going to find more solutions in your life. And I do believe that you can have success and happiness. I believe you can have both now. It really ultimately is all about the emotions that we're looking for in life. But if you truly believe and shape your perceptions around a win-win, you're going to find that more and more people are going to be drawn into your life to be able to help you as well. Let's go to prosperity principle number 9. I am committed to lifelong learning. Now, I want to kind of comment on this one because I think a lot of times we prioritize learning, but I believe the application of your knowledge is just as important as the act of learning. Let me explain what I mean. Follow me with this equation real quick. This is an equation for learning and creating your life. It's learning plus application equals experience that leads to beliefs. And what I mean by that is you are driven right now by what you believe you can do. And this is all based on the experience that you've had in life. And so you can learn new principles, but until you apply those principles and you create a new experience, your beliefs are not going to change. So I believe that when you're committed to lifelong learning, you're also committed to doing the things it takes to go to the next level. And so that's one of the principles I want you to really incorporate this week is apply the learning and knowledge that you're getting. Prosperity principle number 10 is I create daily rituals. I create daily rituals. And Brian Tracy said, successful people are simply those with successful habits. I do believe your habits will be determined by your daily rituals. And successful people create habits. They learn to find daily rituals that drive daily habits that drive them towards their success. So what are the things you can do this week that'll continue to stack habits in your favor to get you closer to the life you want to create? What are those daily rituals that you need to be doing? Is it meditating? Is it getting up early? Is it working out? Is it eating right? Is it journaling? Is it doing, a certain number of calls or doing a certain number of activities? What are those daily rituals that will keep you focused, keep you clear, and help you to create your best life? That's prosperity principle number 10. The next one, prosperity principle number 11, is I attract success. Now, this is one I took, and I felt like I understood this most of my life, but I've really learned to adopt this principle of I attract success. Jim Rohn said, success is not to be pursued, it's to be attracted by the person you become. And so many of us are chasing that success. We're chasing the dream or the destination we're looking for. And what we don't realize is a lot of that can be made simpler for you if you can just learn to become a better person, to evolve and create a better version of yourself. Because then what's going to happen is your thinking will change, your perceptions will change, and everything about your life will become a little simpler, a little easier in the sense that you won't be pushing so hard to try to make something happen. So learn to be able to take massive action. But then, as Harv Eker always says, learn to step back and allow space for attraction. And as you start to apply this principle, you're going to learn more and more how this works. You're going to find that there are a lot of things you can do in your life that you can attract more and more to support you. Okay, last one, finally, prosperity principle number 12. I visualize and manifest my life. Now, I had a lot of trouble with this one at first. I kind of felt like, I wasn't being very productive when I visualize and manifest my life. But let's be honest. If you don't know what it is you're trying to create in your life, if you don't understand what it is clearly that you're trying to create, well, then how can you go create it? How can you do it? Most of us are just going through life trying to make a living. We're not really trying to design and create a life. But it starts with having that dream or having that vision or having that visualization of what it is you're trying to accomplish. It's like Cheryl Grossman said, I dream, therefore I become. In other words, you have to have some clarity around what you want before you can actually go out and create it. If you don't have that clarity or that visualization of what you want, you're just going to be running in circles. And so I really want you to adopt that one into your life and find time to be able to sit and create clarity around what it is you're doing. So those are the 12 prosperity principles I wanted to share with you on the podcast today. What I would like you to do is, if you need to, kind of go back through this, but try to apply these principles throughout the week. Try to remind yourself of these principles. If you haven't already, you can go to the Daily Mastermind or just dailymastermind.com website, and you can get one of these posters if you want, or you can, screen capture it or download the free PDF. But I really encourage you to use these principles as a foundation for your week. And do me a favor and share the show. If you haven't already, like and subscribe so that I know that you won't miss any episodes. But I'd really like to get your feedback, and I'd really like you to share the message. So if you feel like you've learned something or you've gotten something out of this, do me a favor and just share it. And if you want, tag me as well so I can see who you are and I can kind of comment and follow your journey. And as always, you can hit me up on the Daily Mastermind on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, TikTok. And I look forward to talking with you a little bit more. This week, I'm going to share some things with you we learned at our Authority Marketing but I'm also give you some additional resources you can use. Got some free stuff I'm going to give out through the week, so don't miss any episodes. Once again, my name is George Wright III, and this has been the Daily Mastermind. Have a great day.